Hey everyone, it's been a bit of a hot minute, but I'm back with a pretty simple little video here. Picked up from work, my new place of employment, this Compaq DeskPro END. You can see that's a Pentium 3 600 megahertz. But yeah, pretty sad shape. I mean, it's been in a server room and then in a storage container for a couple of years. I think until roughly 2019 or 18, this was in place as a well, I won't spoil it just yet, but you'll get to see it was served a very particular function. Overall condition, scratched, scraped, bruised. These machines are very heavy, built like a tank. Not that common though, this END model. I've only seen sort of one other video referencing this particular sub-series of these DeskPros. Not too sure what the deal is, but yeah, on the back we've got these sort of RJ, I think 11 or 12 COM ports, so these sort of give a hint of what this machine was for. 10100 networking, audio, USB, PS2, parallel port, serial, and some sort of weird sort of looking video adapter. We'll have to come back to that in a moment. On the rear of the machine we have a NZ Computer Sales Limited warranty sticker. I'm not sure if the 1998 is for the date that it was sold or if it's just Windows 98, but this machine has a few strange things going on with it. We've got Windows 98 SE product key here as well as Windows 95, but the machine itself, the parts that are actually in it, none of them, well, it's a bit strange. We'll go through it anyway and we'll show you what's going on. So the Windows sticker on the front has Windows 98, designed for Windows 98, as well as a Windows 2000 sticker. This is indeed a Pentium 3 machine. So here we got pretty standard arrangement of parts. 80 gigabyte hard drive, which was added quite a bit later from what I gather. The BIOS doesn't seem to recognize the full 80 gig. CD-ROM and floppy drive, I guess what came with the machine from factory, as well as a very strange power supply. This one's got a fault, which we'll get to later as well as I figure out, but standard 200 watt Compaq unit. Facing the other side of the machine we can see the business end here. Here's what those two big long cards are. These are actually used in a voicemail system or a old school PABX sort of environment. From what I understand, this was a voicemail machine, so it had 4 lines I guess coming into it. So we'll take the cards out and have a closer look at them. You can see we've got a slot 1 processor, some sort of AGP card and some memory, pretty standard, although it gets a bit more odd as we dig in a bit further. Here's the card here. I don't know anything about it, apart from the 2 RJ11 or 12 ports, whatever they are on the rear. Got a standard arrangement of chips. Quite fascinating to sort of look at. We've got a real mixture of chips made from various manufacturers. We've got Motorola, AMD, I believe there might be an Intel chip somewhere floating around here. Not sure if this here is actually a CPU of such, like some sort of 12 megahertz CPU. Don't know. I should actually look up the data sheet. Got a standard code of compliance for New Zealand, Australia telecommunications. Yeah, I'm sure everyone's used, well, the people in the industry have used these a lot more than me. Here's the video card with a very strange sort of rear bracket. I haven't encountered these before, and it's a bit annoying if I'm honest that it doesn't use a standard slot. But we got a Matrox G400 video card, 16 megabytes of dedicated VRAM. Pretty decent card, like it's not actually too bad paired with the CPU, and of course that CPU is a 600 megahertz Pentium 3. But yeah, it's a bit annoying that they put it on that bracket. I think it was a bit rude if I'm honest. It means you're limited really just to this one card, or removing the bracket altogether and getting something that lines up. For memory, very strange. We have 512 megabyte DIMMs for a total of 1 gigabyte. This is actually ECC RD RAM. I didn't think this came out until the Pentium 4 era. I didn't realize it was available for the Pentium 3 platform. Yeah, it's really quite strange actually. This RAM was sort of like a failure product really, but yeah, a huge 1 GB, so I don't understand why we've got a Windows 98 and 95 you know, serial key if you're using that sort of memory, because yeah, it's just strange. Like that's way too much for Windows 9X. Windows 2000 no problem, or NT4, but yeah, 9X bit dodge. And this is what the machine came with from the factory, by the way. This machine hasn't really been upgraded apart from the hard drive. We have a Foxconn OEM heatsink supplied Pentium 3. This is a 133 MHz frontside bus, 600 MHz CPU. Very, very strange. This is kind of quite a fast bus speed for such a slow clocked CPU, and also using a slot 1 for that sort of bus speed as well. Yeah, just really strange. It's an i820 or 810, sorry, chipset. I forget which one it is, but yeah, odd mixture of older parts and newer parts. Of course, the CMOS battery is dead. But yeah, AGP, ISA bus, standard PCI, you know, hidden underneath those cards as well. But yeah, RD RAM, slot 1, 133 MHz frontside bus. Just a very odd mixture of newer stuff and older stuff. It's just a combo I've never seen before, so yeah, I thought this would just be a standard PC, standard parts, but yeah, something a little bit different at least to explore. Just testing the power supply for shorts, as well as the motherboard, so sticking the multimeter in and just seeing if anything is shorted to ground or together. It's just, you know, this machine's been sitting in a damp storage container, shipping container for a couple of years, so I really just want to make sure that nothing's going to short out and blow my face off when we power it up. But yeah, testing the motherboard as well. The power socket, the ATX plug, is on this daughter board. The whole thing slides in kind of like one of those old Power Macs. Well, first power up didn't exactly go to plan. The machine itself didn't explode, which is always a positive. You never know when you plug these old things in what's going to happen, especially this thing that's been running 24/7 for like probably 15-20 years. But yeah, no video output on the display, so I figured there's a CMOS jumper reset on the motherboard, so I'll do a power off, power on while resetting that. And I think eventually after a few goes it ended up doing the trick and we finally get a video output. Well, what seems like a very long time, like 5 or 10 minutes, the machine finally counted up all the memory. Got our full 1024 megabytes of memory. She's a powerhouse, baby. Yeah, greeted with the pretty standard Compaq splash screen, which is quite nice. Always like seeing that. But yeah, very standard BIOS here as well. Pentium 3, 600 megahertz. The E variant, I believe, something to do with the voltage, according to CPU World. The hard drive is detected as a 15 gigabyte drive, so I have a feeling this BIOS might be a little bit out of date, but it has DMA and support and all of that, which is quite nice, of course. But yeah, pretty standard affair of stuff. I was sort of just picking around the settings here just to see if there was anything cool, but yeah, nothing too exciting. I didn't notice at the time, but the power supply fan is not actually working, so I ended up getting a little bit warm. Not too bad though, the machine never crashed or shut down, but from the same company I had a second machine with the same sort of issue. The fan would just refuse to spin up in the power supply, so that's something I'm going to have to fix very soon. But yeah, setting the date and time, of course, because the battery's been replaced. I end up just doing it in here. It's a little bit easier to get it roughly close. And yeah, we're going to do a first time boot with the hard drive that's in this machine. I'm not going to format it just yet. I just wanted to see what OS is running on it, what's installed, just have a quick little poke around. but I got a rough idea that it's going to be pretty bland. But anyway, we'll let it warm up here, see what we're working with. Looks like Windows 2000, one of my favorite operating systems, rock stable, pretty good to use. Yeah, so this is a sort of a screenshot of what's actually on the hardware side of things. Nothing too out of the ordinary. Sound Max sound chip. I noticed that the power supply, as I said, the fan wasn't spinning. So this circuit glue turns corrosive, it absorbs water and it conducts. And what I have a feeling has happened, because the fan hasn't seized, I have a feeling that the thermal control that spins the fan up and down, is depending on how hot the power supply is getting, has actually failed and isn't commanding the power supply fan to turn on. So not too sure. I thought that may have been the trick, so I put it all back together, no luck. Then I found that a bunch of solder joints on this little daughter board have gone all bad. You can see this here moving around on this voltage regulator, so I redid all of them. Still no luck even on the main power supply board. So what I ended up doing is just wiring the fan to a 5-volt rail inside of the power supply. Definitely not ideal, but I don't have a schematic. I'm not that good at fixing power supplies, so this is kind of the best solution for now. And at least it's got a working fan and it seems to run pretty cool. The CD-ROM belt, a little bit worn, does still work though. So I went on archive.org and tried to track me down some Compaq Restore CDs. This machine is incredibly hard to find Restore CDs for, because it's the 133 MHz i820, 810 chipset, and all of these Restore CDs are for the older ones or slightly different variants. But yeah, none of them, I tried about 5 of them, none of them would work. One of them failed to boot at all because I think it was a much older one, and of course it's got a gigabyte of memory, so it just absolutely packs a sad. So had to go with a vanilla install. I thought I'd absolutely push the boat out and try Windows ME because it's a little bit newer than 98. It might support a bit more memory. I doubt it. Didn't seem to make a difference. It was still a little bit janky. I should have really put Windows 2000 back on it. But yeah, the software that was on that Windows 2000 machine doesn't work anymore, and the rest of the machine was a vanilla image, so I didn't bother actually capturing any footage of it because nothing functioned at all. And it was really boring, so I was like, oh well, I'm just going with Windows ME. So yeah, fresh install. I wanted to try some DOS games as well. I didn't actually get much of time to play around with this machine a whole lot. Really only managed to play 2 pretty demanding games, which I thought would be quite interesting to see how that frontside bus and that GPU handle such games, but yeah, we'll see that pretty soon. All the drivers, however, installed just fine. The operating system only crashed once the whole time I was using the machine. I took a little note down, enabling some DMA, of course, quite nice to have. But yeah, other than that, it didn't actually run too bad. I was quite surprised. Of course, it's a fresh build of Windows ME, but if I was running this machine long term or longer term, I'd upgrade the CPU, something a bit faster. It supports quite a large amount of range of processors, of course, but also put Windows 2000 on it, or try and find some RD RAM that's smaller capacity, because with RD RAM you can't leave a blank slot. You got to have a blanking DIMM, or you can just put 2 sticks that are a little bit smaller and to reduce your memory capacity. Enabling a nice big color palette. Always love a Matrox card. Got some really nice colors, good video quality, stuff like that. Yeah, the Matrix card didn't put up a fight. It all worked pretty reliably. The drivers, the Windows had a sound driver, sadly no nice DOS compatibility or anything like that, which is a bit disappointing. This is definitely from an era of when PCs stopped supporting DOS. Quite interesting watching the colors and brightness and stuff change on my capture card. Of course, I'm using the data path, whatever it is, thingy majiggy, real fancy pants sort of thing. But yeah, with 75 Hz versus 60, it's, yeah, quite strange how it changes brightness and contrast and colours and things like that. I have a feeling that's why when I capture DOS games, that when they flick over to 70 Hz or 75 Hz, that they darken a fair bit, and you end up having to compensate in OBS to adjust for that balance. But yeah, machine seemed to work as I said, alright, so I thought I'd put some updates on it. Got some unofficial service pack for Windows Millennium Edition, or ME, or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, just wanted to make sure I gave this machine the best chance, and I thought with the extra RAM that it's got on board, this would probably be of benefit. So I'm going to go through this, going to get all these updates done. I'm going to install some games, clean up the system a little bit, and I think what we need to do is check out what that 600 MHz CPU can do, and that Matrix card. It shouldn't actually be too bad. It's got a pretty quick frontside bus, a lot of memory. Yeah, so I'm quite interested to see how we get on. Of course, a lot of these games are actually going to push this machine way too hard. Of course, for a 600 MHz processor, Vice City is not something that comes to mind that you want to play, but here it is. So, it's working a lot better than the Celeron PC that I tried to play this on when I was 14.
We're not really providing any serious solutions. So far, we've got secessionism, rearing its ugly head for the first time in a century and a half. We've got ignore it, and we've got give everyone a flower. You're all a little unrealistic, yes?
Come on now.
My friend. Maurice.
Not to say over-opinionated and moronic, Mr. Crashaw, how do we stop people running amok in the city with machine guns and heavy artillery?
You've got to give a man a chance. Prisons are overflowing with wasted potential. Make the guilty men innocent once more. Free them from themselves.
How? How on earth do you do that?
Well, you could let them off.
Marvelous. Great. That's a sensible plan.
Then they wouldn't be guilty anymore.
We've been doing that for years, you idiot. How do you think we'd keep prison costs down? They ain't by magic or cooking the books.
You will probably have noticed that the sound isn't actually working properly. I'm not too sure what the deal is with that. I did update the driver. I think it's just an incompatibility. It's a standard SoundMax or AC97 chip. So some sort of integrated, sound of some sort. So yeah, no sound except the radio, a little bit of ambience, wind, no voices. It seems to phase in and out, so yeah, I think this game is definitely not suited for the sound chip. Well, next I decided to dig out another Vice City mod. This one I've had for a long time. A mate of mine gave it to me back in 2005 or 4 or something like that. So yeah, you'll see a few changes. It definitely requires a lot more VRAM and a faster CPU. A lot of the textures didn't load in, so things will look a bit strange. But yeah, I need to do a video on this mod. It's kind of cool. Yeah, that Supra is insanely fast. I just need to show it off once I get a more powerful computer to run that on. Anyway, Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2, a game I've not played much of, and I actually really enjoyed it. So I need to play some more of this. Bit more easier on the hardware, still a few issues here and there which you'll see, but I'll complete a full race so you guys can see the prowess of this office PC.
Commencing pursuit. Vehicle is a red Ferrari 360 Spider.
Copy 54.
19 County, in pursuit. Vehicle is a red sports car. County. This guy is going to kill somebody. I am discontinuing pursuit.
County, I've got him again. Commencing pursuit. Vehicle's a red Ford Mustang Cobra R.
Copy 31.
County, amending this pursuit in the interest of public safety.
It's the final lap.
Captain. He flew through the radar. He's going 100 plus.
County All Patrol. 54 attempting to overtake a vehicle at a high rate of speed.
54 County. This guy is going to kill somebody. I am discontinuing pursuit. County, I've got him again. In pursuit. Vehicle's a red Ford Mustang Cobra R.
The winner!
Well, on that note, we're all winners and grinners here, so yeah, this machine's all wrapped up, ready to go for another couple of projects. I've reinstalled the OS. I need to really put Windows 2000 on it, or maybe try and mod in a more powerful GPU, but yeah, really strange computer with all those old and new parts. Anyway guys, I'll leave you to it. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys soon.